Hey everyone, this is Pete. Welcome back to Warriors Wednesday and our playthrough of Warriors Orochi on the Xbox 360. Today, we may be finishing the Samurai Warriors campaign. Because we're definitely up to the final mission. I have a bit of a confession to make. I've actually tried this mission a couple of times already and it's very difficult. So, I'm not going to guarantee we're going to get through this. Yeah, because I already earlier recorded and got rid of an hour-and-a-half long video, which I figured was probably too long for everyone to enjoy. So we're going to go from there. For our lineup, I think I'm going to go back to the classic arrangement of Lucian, Mitsuhide, and I think we'll get Xiao Kao back out again. They're a good, reliable combination. It also means that we can free up an ability slot, because we don't need the power option. That means we can take something like focus or impulse or boost. I'll take boost actually. That strengthens our charge attack because we're using quite a lot of those at the moment. And the other abilities we've got are pretty good. So let's just take a quick look at Xiao Kao's weapons, see if there's anything we can do to improve them. So this is our current one. What can we add to that? We can add some more flame with that one. Oh, I don't have any points. Okay, so not a huge amount we can do with that then, so forget that. Let's just go. So this is the final battle of the Samurai Warriors scenario. The final side mission you have to unlock with some specific conditions that I haven't met yet, but I'll do those off camera. And we'll focus on trying to clear this final battle today. So the aim in this fight is to defeat Orochi.
Thanks partly to
but it's not quite that simple, of course.
And Kenshin, the Allied army enjoyed a historic victory at the Wujiang Plains. With the aid of Nobunaga's far-sighted plans, the armies led by Cao Pi and Sun Ce also claimed victory and forced Orochi into a corner. The time had come to unite and free this land of its greatest menace. One demon king against another. The final showdown was about to begin on Orochi's home turf of Koshi Castle.
So, pretty straightforward setup. Orochi is locked up in his castle in the middle of the map. You have to get in there and kill him. So, the main sort of twist in this one is these cannon fortresses that are around the place. So they will activate at various points and start hailing fiery death down on your units. But then various ones of your officers are also working their way around, doing various strategies as well. Like I say, I've tried this a couple of times so far, so I do know what to expect. It's just a case of whether or not we can actually finish it.
The time is upon us. I will enjoy slaying you, Orochi.
The tricky part is not the main battle itself, which is reasonably straightforward. It's the Orochi fight at the end, which is anything but straightforward, shall we say.
How to lure the enemy out. This calls for some
So,
real
I'm going to adopt the
cunning.
strategy that I determined to be pretty effective over my last few attempts. Which is heading off to go and deal with these cannon keeps. And then head down the east side to support Shingen Takeda's advance.
Blow them away.
And then go where needed. Is what you want to try and do before you get to Orochi is knock down his army's morale as much as possible, so that in theory you'll be taking less damage, dealing more damage and that sort of thing. So that means working your way through, dealing with some officers. Oh dear, not getting off to a good start here.
Where are they going from here?
Forget that happened. Almost embarrassed to save my game data after that. Right.
Thanks partly.
So,
We shall attack from the
less
south.
embarrassingly,
All forces claim the 2 southern
let's
fortresses.
head for that corner. Keep
How to lure the enemy out.
and deal with the cannons,
This calls for some real...
and then work our way around.
Let us enjoy this last battle together, Nemesis.
The one key thing with this game, a golden rule that I just refused to follow in that last pathetic attempt, was if your character looks like they're starting to struggle, then switch them out straight away before it becomes a real problem. Because otherwise you'll find yourself in a real mess very, very quickly.
Never have I seen such an obvious trap. Such amateurism must not go unpunished.
So over the course of the last few missions, we've determined that making good use of charge attacks is extremely important, because it's those charge attacks that unleash the various skills you have attached onto your weapon. If you don't do charge attacks, then those skills don't activate at all. So that includes things like boosting damage against officers, having those elemental effects, breaking through guards and that sort of thing. So it's really important to make good use of those. Which means not just mashing on the light attack button, as is very tempting to do in these games. Right, so that clears out that corner. Takeda is heading down the eastern side, so we will follow him when he gets moving.
Where are they going from here?
Fools! You've walked right into our trap! Fire!
I like Xiao Kao, but that dash attack where she falls over is quite frustrating, because you basically need to use the special attack after that, otherwise you're just completely vulnerable for a minute.
And next up,
Alright, Shingen is heading in that direction, so let's follow him and support his advance.
farewell, you hooded hoodlum.
Meanwhile, you'll notice over on the west side other stuff is happening. So it is possible to go and head down the west side and attempt to deal with that instead. But I found the most effective approach seems to be going this way to begin with,
The castle's
and then going and
wide
dealing
open.
with the west side afterwards.
They expect me to fall for that, but we might be able to make use of their naivety.
Here comes trouble.
Alright, so that takes care of that base. This keep up ahead is a very obvious trap. Not sure if you can trigger it yourself or if you need Shingen to do it for you, but
Is that the mighty Lu Bu on lowly sentry duty? Surely not.
You mock me, old man? Then you shall die first!
Hold your ground.
I do like people taking the piss out of Lu Bu.
Plan will be ruined.
Because, I mean, you know, he's powerful and scary and everything, but just sort of seeing everyone taking the piss out of him is just sort of oddly amusing. Right, Takeda is in the keep, which means he's probably going to get ambushed any moment now. But we can break him out very easily. Simply by defeating this conveniently appearing defense captain.
I'm shut in.
You're shut in. The masked Avenger is caught. Here comes trouble. Here comes trouble.
They've fallen into our trap! Crush the eastern garrison!
Here comes trouble.
Alright.
Trouble.
Rely on me!
support him. Take out these officers who are giving him some grief. Lucian actually also has an ability left to unlock as well that involves him defeating some officers quickly, so that's why I'm using him to fight officers at the moment. It is a time restricted one though, so it's one that we have to get through quite quickly. I'm not making it a priority, but if there are officers appearing, I will lose Lucian for the moment, just to see if we can unlock it. It's not an ability we especially need or anything like that, but it's just further progression in the game. It's useful to have.
Heavens shine.
And it's nice to have options, of course.
Here is where you wither and die.
Lord Nobunaga's plan starts to come to fruition.
Fortunately, we are getting kind of swarmed with officers at the minute, so plenty of opportunities for a few kills.
As always, time to make it count.
Lucian is doing some really respectable damage now. I'm pleased I've taken the time to build him up, because he's gone from being rather mediocre to pretty good fighter. He's actually pretty good at taking down officers. His only real weakness is that those daggers have got very short range on them, so you need to get right up in enemies' faces to deal with them. But that can be counterbalanced a little bit with his charge attacks and the elemental skills that I've got attached to his weapon and so on. So you see he's using a lot of sort of freezing enemies. I think there's some bolt in there. He's got flash on there, so he's very good at breaking through enemy guards as well. So let's just check on the progress of that mission. So we've got 2 minutes 59 seconds left to defeat 2 more officers, which is definitely very much in the realm of possibility. So let's keep an eye out for officers in the next couple of minutes. Any that show up, such as you. Can taste dagger. There we go.
My blades strike again. Not bad at all.
Right. Don't actually see any other officers nearby at the moment, which is unfortunate. We'll advance in this direction. We'll let Shingen do his thing with the grunts, as they're not a huge threat at the minute. We will make a beeline for this officer over here and hopefully get there in time to unlock the ability. And then we'll go back and help out Shingen if he needs it still.
Here is where you wither and die.
Alright, Yellow Belly.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Ooh, ow, 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 ow.
Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself.
Oh, still taking a lot of damage. Oh no. Ooh, a little bit too close to my liking there.
Rely on me.
There's the ability. Right, switch out and let him heal for God's sake.
The heavens shine.
Right, in the meantime, we will tidy up down here a bit. Alright, nicely done. Not going in there yet because that's the way into the castle, and our troops will head in there after a while. So, in the meantime, we're going to head in this direction. We're going to take care of some of those cannons.
The cannons are the basis of their whole operation. Leave that dismantling to me.
So the cannons are mostly in the
One more
small
obstacle
keeps.
overcome.
There's one here, guarded by this defense captain, who if we defeat, we'll open the gates, just like the other garrison we dealt with before. There we go.
Feel the venom coursing through your veins.
missed. Nice bit of air juggling going on there. Very satisfying when you time that correctly.
Orochi
All right.
will triumph. Do not resist.
Come back later and try again.
That's that cannon keep dealt with. No base captains or anything to worry about here, so we don't need to stick around too long, but we will get a few kills out of it. Nice. Up. Right, a couple of officers down here. And we don't need to kill them with Lucian anymore, so let's switch to Mitsuhide. He's got some very nice skills on his weapon by this point. Lots of elemental effects. Pretty decent range on those AoEs as well, so...
It appears you are of some use.
Enemy reinforcements just
Not convinced he's doing quite as much damage as Lucian is, actually, but he's still respectable, and of course he's still got the ranged special attack we can fall on in cases of real emergency as well. So he has been a stalwart member of the team, an essential part of our entire campaign. I'm going to miss him in the other campaigns, I think, but I'm sure there's someone who will have equally useful abilities. Freezing enemies is so good, because they're just completely helpless to fight back when you do that. Alright, so that takes care mostly of this area. Don't need to mop up too much of the stragglers, as our friends should take care of that.
Rely on me.
Another cannon keep here.
Prepare yourself.
So we know what to do with this.
Do you think you can stop me? Prepare yourself.
I've been finding the more that I've been playing this game, the more I've been enjoying it. I know this is the first installment in the series, and there's 3 more after this that I'm very keen to get onto. I'm very, very interested to play Warriors Orochi 3 and 4 in particular, just because they have some really interesting sounding characters and additions to the basic formula. But yeah, I've been really enjoying this. I thought it was going to be sort of a case of I'd try a few missions and this and then immediately want to move on to the next one, but no, I've been having an absolute blast with this, progressing the characters and improving them, finding new weapons, developing their abilities, finding out the best combinations of charge attacks and that sort of thing. It's just really fun because it's got that sort of immediacy of the hack and slash beat 'em up combat that the series is most well known for, of course. But then the depth in the progression system is just so much fun. It just adds... Oh dear. Oh dear. It just adds so much to the experience. It's just really, really fun to see your characters getting stronger and being able to do more things, and they get the shit kicked out of them. Oh god. Yeah, run. I'm gonna hang out with So I'm going to attack it there for a bit because that will help
Wait for me.
heal. So if you remember, the alliance system in this means that when you're near your allies, whether they are actually on part of your forces or the yellow forces that have sort of temporarily allied with you in a mission, you will gradually regenerate health. So that is an important part of making it through dangerous situations like this, is actually cooperating with your allies. Yeah, this is proving a bit of a struggle so far. Oh, one of them down. That's good. Second one nearly down. That's progress. Daji is the really dangerous one here. No one is perfectly fighting fit at the minute, so we'll stick with Lucian for the minute. We'll switch him out if his health gets too low. Hopefully he should be able to keep Daji occupied enough. There we go. Nicely done, Lucian. Good job.
My blades strike again. Prepare yourself. You are an asset to this army.
Right, and as you can see up in the top right corner, defeating all of these officers is having a significant effect on the morale level of the Orochi army, which is hopefully going to stand us in good stead for the final conflict. I say hopefully because, as I said before, I've tried this a couple of times and I know how that final conflict goes, and it is not easy at all. So I'm hoping I don't embarrass myself too much. I can't really embarrass myself more than I did in the first attempt in this particular video. So, you know, things can only get better from here. Right. So we've got one more cannon keep to deal with. Up in the northwest corner. And then we are good for the final assault.
My blade is yours.
I love the way the health bars get bigger in this. Like, look at the size of Mitsuhide's hit point bar now. It's great. It's just a really satisfying indication of your progress to see that stretching that far across the screen. Like, if you go back and look at the early episodes of this series and how small the health bars are.
Feel the venom coursing through your veins.
Yeah, it just pleases me. It's something I've always liked in games like this. Like, I really liked I liked it in Metal Gear. I liked it in Kingdom Hearts that does it as well. It's just a little element of interface design that I really like. It's not always practical for people to do, depending on how the UI is laid out, but I believe Warriors has always done it. Or at least has done it for most of the more recent installments anyway. Hyrule Warriors is an obvious exception because the hit point bar in that is actually just a heart meter like in Zelda, for understandable reasons. Alright. So, we head down and help them assault that keep they're in at the minute. That will get us into the castle and ready for the final battle.
Rely on me.
Let's call a shitty horse. There's a shitty horse. Come forth, shitty horse.
I can smell death hanging over me. Just how I like it.
I like how his daggers just like magically get larger while he's on a sword, while he's on a horse, just to make actually attacking on horseback with him the slightest bit practical. Right. One of the challenges we have towards this end bit here is that Nobunaga is in the fray,
The only path
and
through me.
thus, as well as keeping yourself alive, you need to make sure that you're keeping him alive as well, because you immediately fail the mission if he dies. So, the advantage of showing up late is that Lubu is almost dead by the time you get there. He's not dead because he's Lubu, but you know.
If you have defeated Lu Bu, then you have earned the right to face me. Come and show me the strength of men.
Alright, so here is the true test. So Orochi is a pretty tough opponent because he has one attack in particular that is quite a large AoE attack. Excuse me. And yeah, it does a lot of damage. Like our current characters who are sort of around the level 50 mark or so, it will knock off a good half of their life. So that is a good way to get defeated very quickly if you get caught in it. Fortunately, you can interrupt it. So a well-timed charge attack that will knock Orochi off his feet will actually interrupt that attack. So it is essential. Yeah, see, look how much damage that did. So it's absolutely essential to, when you see him charging it like that, to try and, oh god, do pretty much the opposite of what I'm doing here. Right, so we want to kite him for a bit basically, so we can get some health back. With a Musou, that's good.
You fight smart. I like that.
We are, of course, invincible while we are doing a Musou attack. Right, what we can do as well while he's occupied by our friends down there, so we can go deal with his base captain. Oh, he followed us. That's not good. But yeah, if we take down that base captain, that will at least stop there being quite so many grunts around the place.
My blade is yours.
Yeah, Orochi also has several weapons as well. You can probably see him switching. So when he glows blue, he's switching between different weapons. So each of those has a different kind of skill set. So he's basically 3 warriors in one. So he can tag team with himself effectively. Except he doesn't have a separate health bar for each of his weapons, thankfully. Right. He knocked off his first health bar. Oh, God. Which is a start. And everyone is wailing on him at the minute, which is good. Basically, if we can keep him airborne or stunned, that will be very useful. I need to actually hit with charge attacks to make that happen, though. Freezing him's good as well. Ow. Time to switch. Yep, freeze, very nice.
Come. Surely you are not done yet.
Yeah, you go over there. Corner him. I like that. This last little bit where it all tends to go wrong. Because you just get overconfident. You stop watching your own health bar as you watch his health bar tick down. And it's just so easy to get caught in one of those.
Prepare yourself.
Thankfully, he doesn't appear to like enrage or anything like that, so he doesn't appear to sort of get new.
Prepare yourself.
It'd be good if you could come down here. Yeah, this is where things start to get a bit concerning, is if Nobunaga gets caught in too many of those blasts, it is all over. Come on, a couple more hits. Yes, it's done. It is done. So that is the Samurai Warriors campaign. Hopefully we'll have some sort of end sequence now, maybe, I guess. We'll find out. So we unlocked Lucian's ability as well, that's good. We got some new weapons. That looks like his tier 3 weapon. Alright, happy with that. And achievement unlocked. End sequence.
This is just the beginning.
You are right. We are witnessing the beginning.
Indeed.
You guys still haven't had enough?
Hey, stop fighting already. I mean it.
This is the beginning of a new era.
This is our chance to rebuild.
A new era.
Of glorious war.
Alright, great stuff. So that is the Samurai campaign down. So off camera I'll try and unlock the last Samurai side mission as well, which I think I know the conditions to do that. And then we'll try that next time. And then after that we will move on to a new campaign. But we will have the advantage of being able to use all of the abilities that we've already unlocked. So that means things like experience gain and stuff should be considerably accelerated from what we had in this campaign, which will be interesting. So, looking forward to that. So, let's just enjoy the credits for now. And then we'll take it from there. A lot of characters I don't recognise in here. I guess some of these are going to be showing up in the other campaigns. So like we just had 3 characters unlocked in the Samurai Warriors campaign to begin with. The 3 kingdoms from Dynasty Warriors, they all have 3 characters unlocked to begin with as well. And then additional ones will unlock from there, I guess. So there are 79 of them altogether, some of which have got specific requirements. I know there are very specific ways to unlock characters like Lu Bu, for example. Whether we'll get that far remains to be seen. But for now, that was the Samurai campaign of Warriors Orochi on Xbox 360. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help out the channel by leaving a like or a comment and subscribing. Be sure to check out moegamer.net for new articles on Japanese and Japanese-inspired video games, new and old, every weekday. Every month, Moe Gamer features an in-depth exploration of an individual game or series as its cover game, so be sure to check the archives to see if your favourite has had a deep dive yet. If you'd like to support the site directly, please consider becoming a patron or buying me a coffee. You can find links to do both down in the video description. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.